Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ladies of SOSA podcast. My name is Sara.
And my name is Christine.
And today we are doing a deep dive. Okay, deep dive is not a good word. Okay, so we're not doing a deep dive, but we are unpacking the promise of Pan-Africanism. And we talk about Pan-Africanism a lot on our podcast. I don't think we've ever did like a full, historical context or just like the biggest power players of Pan-Africanism. But it's a word that we use a lot on the podcast, especially when we're talking about the Black diaspora. And we wanted to kind of dedicate a show that kind of unpacks what Pan-Africanism is and its importance.
Yeah, and recently we've seen a lot of comments on our platform talking about Pan-Africanism based on our last few episodes. So we decided to kind of break it down and figure out what it is for ourselves, because we talk about it so much, but what exactly is Pan-Africanism? And is it something that's viable and realistic? Like, is it something that we should continue promoting? A lot of people say that it's not realistic, so we just wanted to kind of dive deeper into it and give it its own dedicated episode. So.
Yeah, I'm sure most of you all know what Pan-Africanism is, because we all kind of have the same, we talk about this dialogue all the time on our show. But just in case you're new to this concept, Pan-Africanism at its core is the belief that all people of African descent, whether in Ghana, Guyana, Georgia, share a common history and future. It's about unity, self-determination, and lifting each other up as the Black diaspora.
Yes. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce our panel. Go ahead.
Should we start with the couch? Let's go ahead and start with the men on the couch. We're going to start with Emmanuel.
Yes, the men that are talking amongst themselves when they're not supposed to be. Right. Knowing that the mic can pick up on that.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Mind you, we didn't say a damn word.
Yes, y'all were. So go ahead. Share with the class since y'all want to be
y'all talking about? And who are you?
My name is Christina Ladu.
Oh, no, don't start this again.
It's unfortunate because me and Tyrick are the most viral brothers on the podcast, and it's such a beautiful thing. It's like,
I don't know about you.
Another famous brother like myself is beautiful to
it's
be
really
around.
Garang and Tarek if we want to be.
And Willie. Willie had the African American.
Oh, my fault. Does not.
But you're viral on your own platform.
My own Instagram don't count? Okay.
Yeah, no, you lit on TikTok, bro.
It's not my fault.
Viral lately.
Y'all are the most recognizable faces.
Yes, for sure.
I did make 60 cents on TikTok.
No, nice.
Last weekend.
Give it up for a round of applause.
It bought me a bubble gum, so I'm good now.
We love that.
Yeah, but introduce yourselves for the people watching for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like I made it.
Yeah, I mean, let's say shout out to the light skinned women, to the dark skinned women, to the in betweeners that have been helping me get my bag.
We love it. All right, and then we have Tyrick. He made 60 cents on TikTok.
Yes.
We have Vida.
I appreciate y'all.
Hi.
Thank you.
Callie, go ahead and say hi.
Hi, I'm Callie. I'm from Fort Worth. I'm a student.
And Chris.
Yeah, I'm Chris Allen, Black and Bolivian stallion. I'm trying to make 77 cents this time around.
10
so
cents
if
more.
I can.
Love that.
Wait, what about your island aspect of yourself? My bad.
Trinidad?
What are you talking about?
Are you forgetting about your Trinidad and
We
Tobago?
can talk about that later, but you know what I'm saying, man? I'll try to just make my 77 cents and get out of here.
Oh my
If you please. Thank you.
Right. Well, let's get into some history in the meantime.
Just getting into the history of Pan-Africanism, the first official Pan-African conference happened in London in 1900, over 100 years ago, with W.E.B. Du Bois, one of the prominent leaders of Pan-Africanism. I remember on the last episode, I said that Pan-Africanism was new, which I kind of misspoke because people were like, Pan-Africanism not new. And yes, it's been around for over 100 years, but we never really had a true Pan-African identity pre-colonialism. So it's something that we had to kind of learn and kind of do trial and error with Pan-Africanism after colonialism, during the slave trade, after the exploitation of Black people, of African people. That's when we really tried to learn a Pan-African identity.
Right. The whole point of this conversation is that we talk about Pan-Africanism so much. And when we talk about the FBA and we have Calvin on the podcast and we constantly have these conversations, and a lot of people push back and say that Pan-Africanism is just not realistic. Everyone needs to focus on their own individual subgroups before we try to unite. So I think that for the sake of time, the best thing for us to do is dissect that concept to see if that's true or not.
I think that would lead to more Afro-pessimism. The conversation is if it wasn't for colonization and if it wasn't for racism, right, the idea of Pan-African wouldn't make sense. Because the truth of it is, like, individualistically, the African cultures and the African diaspora, like, we're all genetically so different. Like, everybody's insanely different. And racism has gotten to the point where, like, everybody agrees on the same thing. Is like, they look at us all as niggas. Like, and
so racism is united.
Yeah, racism has united us in Pan-Africanism. But the truth of it is like, we are all different. Like, I think that's one aspect that every single one of those movements is trying to say. But like, yes, that's the truth. But no matter how much that is the truth, they don't see that truth, because racism looks at you as just that, black. And you can't escape that. No matter where you are on this earth, you're still going to be looked at as just another nigga.
Yeah. And does anybody want to add on to that?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I'm not a fan of Pan-Africanism because it's a lot of Africans I don't like, Liberians, Somalians.
Oh, Jesus is Lord.
So this whole thing of unity, like, I'm not really a big fan of. I think it should be region-wise, because
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
South Sudan by itself got like 64 tribes. We can't even unite
Yeah.
in Sudan itself. So now we're talking about the whole continent.
But
like,
that's the point. That's the point. It's like, there's so many different subsectors. There needs to be something, like one common denominator that brings us together, so that we could work together. Because see, tribalism is not working when everybody wants their own, like, wants to do their own thing. Like, we need to have our own government, or we need to do this. And there needs to be like one consensus as like, all of us Black people have been through a shared experience. We've all been exploited in one way or another. It may not be the exact same way, but there has been a trickle down, or there has been a common denominator with like how Black people in the world has been treated, in which Marcus Garvey, that we did not bring up, and he's one of the, I think he's one of the most prominent faces, most like polarizing figures in Pan-Africanism. I don't know if he's the one who started Pan-Africanism. I think that could be argued. But he's always argued that like everywhere that he's been in the world, Black people have been in the bottom of the totem pole. And he's always wanted to fight against that. And
I think the beef with Marcus Garvey is like, as a person who looked just like that nigga.
You do kind of look,
you do look like it.
Yeah.
As a person who looks like Marcus Garvey, like Marcus Garvey, his whole problem is like it aligns too well to the white nationalism, which is the idea of going back to Africa, and it aligns too much with colonial ideals on Christianity. So that's the big beef with Marcus Garvey, I think.
He was
that's
a
why
Black nationalist.
When we look at him, we're like, okay, yes, you believe in us as Black people, but also, do you believe in the Christian aspect? I don't really rock with. And also the aspect of like, yeah, we are predestined to control other Africans. I don't know. Marcus Garvey got a tendency to be like, you was right, but you wasn't all the way right.
So I have a question for the panel then, because W.E. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey, they didn't really have the same, like, they didn't really agree on how Black people could attain, like, you know, freedom. And W.E. Du Bois wasn't really fond of Marcus Garvey because he had a different like way of like achieving like his goals as far as like Black people achieving freedom in the South. And like, he just, the way that he viewed it was that like we need to be integrated into society. We shouldn't try to separate ourselves. And Marcus Garvey wanted separation. He was a Black nationalist. He semi-agreed with the KKK as far as like us having our own separate societies. Like, we don't need to blend in with white people. And W.E. Du Bois did not agree with that way of like achieving freedom for Black people. He wanted us to be integrated into society. How do you guys view that? Because I can kind of see both sides when I look into both of their mindsets. I can kind of like see why one is one way and the other.
So you're 50-50, you're in the middle?
I understand what Marcus Garvey was trying to do. He was saying like we're never going to be respected unless we have the same amount of wealth as white people. So we need to have our own businesses. We need to have our own. Didn't he start the black Star Line to go back to Africa, where we can all go back to Africa? He was all about Black nationalism, where W.E. Du Bois was more about, no, we just need to integrate ourselves into the society and ask for equality and fairness and fight the oppressor, but still work within the system. But I can understand that, because why would you want to leave a society that you built? Like, you built slaves built America. Like African Americans built
so,
America.
So we have to stop saying the whole build thing, because I was thinking about the narrative a while back. It's like African Americans did build it.
Yeah.
So did the Asian Americans with the railroad, and so did the blood of Native Americans. So all those aspects, what three people were sacrificing the most at that point in time? The coloreds, right? This sounds crazy.
The who?
The colored people in
Oh.
this country have bled, died, and did all these things for this country, right? At the end of the day, who's still going to be at the bottom? No matter how much you integrate, no matter how much you
That's
think
true.
you've become great and you've done everything, your lowest standard will still be viewed as the low.
Yeah, that's
No
true.
matter what you say. Like, I can go to a poor white neighborhood right now, and even though we make more money than them, brother, they will still look at me as like, you're still black.
Right. So you agree with Marcus Garvey's like approach.
no, we're not going to do all that.
But so you see both sides.
I say both sides died, because the truth of it is, like, where could Marcus Garvey go back to? What nation could he say that like is powerful as a black person?
Jamaica. He's Jamaican.
Like,
Go
even
back to
Jamaica, where's Jamaica? What is Jamaica controlled by? Who is Jamaica controlled by?
Indians.
Like, the truth is, there is no black country that you can, like, for most Asian people, they can go back to their Asian country that is controlled strictly by their people, and it has power behind it. For us, who are we going back to?
Yikes.
That's not controlled.
That kind of gives like hopeless, right? So then what do we do? So what's the middle ground then? Because Marcus Garvey was about us attaining having ownership, and then W.D.
If we
Du Bois.
talking about black people in general, then how you fix it or how you can do better is from where you're at in general, right? We can't do anything if black people in general can't fix what they're coming from today, right now, wherever they're from. It makes no sense to try to fix it in another country or another continent. If I'm being honest, I think it starts with just having a father at home. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
I think, you know what I'm saying? Not to get deep. Not to be deep, man.
Hotep ass niggas, I swear to God. With that daddy shit.
Let-
But I'm saying,
Let it
but see, the thing is, Emmanuel had a dad at home. You know what I'm saying? I didn't.
Oh.
Right? Not to get deep. Right? Not to get deep. But I'm just being real.
Nah, man, why you laughing?
Yeah,
He's
because you know what I'm saying? 'Cause he don't know. He doesn't know how
You're
that feels.
dismissing it because you had it.
Right. So at the end of the day, like, it starts from stuff
Watch
like
that.
that. It starts from the little things, right?
Okay,
It starts from,
I like that.
you know what I'm saying? You can't just try to take your problems and take it elsewhere. You got to fix it for yourself in general. As a people, as black people in general, we got to fix it for ourselves. We're relying on too many aspects to gain anything. But if you fix it for yourself and you show other people how to do it within your community, that's how you're going to grow. But don't rely on trying to go to another country. Like, you got, you know what I'm saying? If you got nothing right now, why would you bring it to somewhere where they kind of struggling for themselves?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
No,
I'm a
I do
believer
see
in
that
that.
point.
Yeah.
And when people do push back just to play, because, you know, I do believe in Pan-Africanism,
Mm-hmm.
but when I do hear the pushback of, how are y'all trying to reunite all black people when y'all have y'all own issues, y'all can't even get along, y'all have tribalism in y'all's countries back home, so how are y'all trying to talk about Pan-Africanism? I do think individually as groups, obviously there's work to be done within when we talk about South Sudan, there's so many issues, like so many things that need to be done, but I don't think that should take away from us still trying to be allies.
I think it's a problem solving thing though. It's like this issue is so big, right, in America. Like, we got to figure out
In the world.
and like how this plays out, like, and who like learn from other countries that are also battling it, so that we can come to like and just learn and like fight it out with each other. So I think Pan-Africanism, the point is like our destinies are intertwined. So just like Marcus Garvey said, like no matter where he went in the world, black people were amongst the bottom of the totem pole, financially, socially.
To
so
this day,
this is
yeah.
so this is not a problem just for Jamaica. It's not a problem just for South Sudan or Ghana or the U.S. This is everybody's problem. So we all need to come together and like figure out like how we can combat this bigger system. So I think that like, yes, it's like the same concept of like we got to clean our own house before we can clean someone else's house. But it's like we have to clean our houses together because the system is too big, honestly. It's not just in the U.S. It's not just in South Sudan or Ghana or like Africa. It's like every Black person, Brazil, we're all experiencing the same fate, you know. So
Yeah.
I think that's
what
bigger
brings
thing.
it back to reality. Go ahead,
I'm
Emmanuel.
going to say something like, yes, we can clean our houses as well as we can, but we still have to make a neighborhood.
Hello.
Africa is full though. We don't need people to go back.
Oh, you know
Jesus
what?
Christ.
And that's another
Because
thing.
there's a line in
Africa
Nas.
is not full, man.
Africa is full.
That's not.
Africa.
Africa.
If Nigeria has 300 million
They're full.
in the area, right?
No.
But us in South Sudan, how many people in South Sudan? How much have we built in South Sudan? How much would American money make more sense? I would rather it come from African Americans.
Africa is a net
But here's one thing, Emmanuel, I would say-
importer of food. There's not enough food
It's
in
not
Africa
like
to
even
feed
for
Africans.
us as South Sudanese to go back
Yeah,
home.
there's
They're not
not
going to
food.
welcome us to come and start trying to make changes and stuff back
This
home.
is
so
gonna
for
sound
you
crazier.
to tell people to
I
go
think-
back and change stuff, it's like, how do you think
This is
that
gonna sound crazy. I think they would prefer African Americans come to Sudan.
they
A
don't?
new group of
they
people.
don't.
That's crazy.
No, I know it sounds crazy because why are we letting Dubai, the same people that have been running our suffering? What part of us makes us that like divinity is outside of our own people all the time? We look at other people. This is why I think Pan-Africanism makes the most sense, because we look at other people that look like us, that have the money and have the ability to help us as like other. But then we're gonna go straight to the people that historically have castrated us, have killed us, have started a whole slave trade around us, and then we still look at these niggas in America and be like, y'all bullshit.
Yeah.
The fuck are we talking about here?
But I think it stems from this, right? Looking at it in the long term, it don't make sense. But when
Why?
you know, because like it's not a matter of if we have it or not. It's what it looks like, right? And we think about people from Dubai. What does it look like?
That's the problem. We've
That's what
never
I'm
seen
saying.
what it looks like
So-
from a black perspective.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can see it. You see another black person like yourself.
Y'all talking about a bunch of pie
It
in the
goes
sky
deeper
stuff.
than what it is.
If you
But at the same time-
if you look at the land, there's not enough arable land in Africa to feed Africans.
There you go.
So we telling people to go back to Africa for what? No, we don't need y'all to go back to Africa for now. Like, do investments, but as far as Africa can't even feed its own people because there's not enough land to feed its own people.
The CIA narrative is running.
It's
That's
not a
so-
CIA narrative.
that's
It's
so
research
wrong.
paper.
So does
Why
that
is
mean
it so wrong?
does that mean us as South Sudanese living in diaspora, we shouldn't go back home to Africa? Because I mean,
Not
we're there.
really.
We're there to
Yeah,
bring
y'all shouldn't.
our expertise to contribute to the
No,
economy.
I go back
So-
to Nas. Nas used to have this song, and he in a line he says, "I want to open every cell in Attica, send them back to Africa." And I was like, "Nah, nigga, leave these crazy dudes here. We don't need them. Africa got us
No.
already." But the mindset, if you have a mind to grow and build up Africa, yeah, you go back to Africa. There's a lot of countries that's giving out citizenship, like Ghana, Benin. They'll give
Yes.
you citizenship
and we,
for moving
and we
back.
wanted to highlight that really quickly
and
because that is part of the
investments,
modern
but just
Pan-African.
to move to be amongst the poor again, like why stay in America and then
But
go
this whole
over there?
conversation is not based off of that. We're not
Yeah.
talking about
But-
people who are poor.
Nah, a bunch of
We're
people
talking about
just
people
wanna-
who could actually make a movement.
it's
and
a bunch of
actually
people
do
just
something.
thinking they go to Africa and it's like it's like a dream come true and it's like nah, you're gonna be it's poor over there. It's poor.
We wanted to highlight the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, the visa-free travel goals, and the shared digital infrastructure through the Agenda 2063, which is like a modern-day Pan-African movement. Also, we just saw Sierra go to Benin and get her citizenship, which I feel that's definitely part of the Pan-African. I'm sure Marcus Garvey would be very proud.
Horrible.
But that's definitely Pan-African. It's just us going back to the source, go back to our homeland, and you don't have to live there full time, but just having like a second home, just like we have a second home.
There is a
South Sudan.
big pushback in Ghana because a lot of Americans that are moving there are raising the housing prices instead, and
Yeah,
so
that's just like
Inflation.
Mexico, just
That's
like
anywhere.
everywhere.
That's anywhere in the world.
So it's a nuance. It's like it's
the
gotta
truth.
be
The truth
balanced.
is, if you're not going over there to build, I'm gonna be real with you. If you're going over there to just spend your money that you made and then what's called retire in a place
Thank you.
where you can subjugate black people, go to Thailand, please. I'm gonna be real. and honest.
Subjugate black people?
I mean, that's what you're doing. I'm gonna be real. Like, you're going over there because you got real money and you can move in specific ways. Don't do that. Go to Thailand. But if you're actually over there to build like infrastructures, you're actually over there to build businesses and push the people around and bring them up, then like let's really have a conversation. Because the truth is, it's like, oh, would I rather go to a place that doesn't look like me and I still can get to be a rich person, or would I go to be a rich person in Africa where people look like me and I can still?
So the question is it realistic to expect African countries or the diaspora to unite politically, or should we focus more on economic and cultural partnerships?
Economic and cultural partnerships, because ain't no fucking way anybody's in line with like South Africa, Nigeria, everybody. But we hate each other so much within our cultural differences. Imagine
within even our tribes, we hate each other.
Yeah, like it's like
it's
like imagine 12 niggas like Tyreek and 12 niggas like me. And at the end of the day, it's gonna end in bloodshed. Because what? Because I look better than this nigga. That's how it works. It's like they just be hating.
So cultural partnerships. Got it.
Cultural partnerships.
I think it needs to be regional partnership, because cultural it's hard. Every culture, even within
economic
the tribes,
and cultural.
Yeah, within the tribes, there's different cultures. So, so I think it got to be regional. But then that's when it becomes like who's gonna lead that region, and then that's where the infighting comes from. And that's what Gaddafi was trying to do, was like economically to build up Africa to look more like Europe as far as the currency, the highway structures. Because now it's just the way the visa works in Africa is so messed up for Africans that you can't really move anything. There's a video on YouTube about a guy taking tires from South Africa to Kenya, and it took him 17 days just to drive that. In America, you going from LA, basically LA to New York. That's a 1 day drive, but it took him 17 days.
So
just
that would be
no
politically
highways.
though, right?
That's economically.
No,
politically, it's way too many politics, and because there's people who wants to be communists, people want to be socialist, people want to be capitalist. So there's so many different ways. But I think regionally, if you have a regional power structure, like East Africa be Kenya, will be the center. South Africa will be South African. West Africa will be Nigeria.
So as far as trading
Central Africa,
and everything,
like Rwanda. So they can have regional power structures, but
it'd be Congo. Let's not do Rwanda.
It's Rwanda. Congo is too many.
I mean, Rwanda
wars.
is the reason why the Congo going through. You know, we're not gonna talk about that.
well,
Yeah. So I think
So Tarek, you're against Pan-Africanism is what I gathered, and then Emmanuel, you're for. No, just for the sake of
I am.
understanding
Yeah.
the
Okay.
yeah.
All right, and
against.
Sarah,
I'm
obviously.
for.
Sarah and I
Pro-Pan-Africanism.
obviously are pro-Pan-Africanism.
Yeah.
I'm pro Pan-Africanism with like truth and like honesty about it, because it is gonna be difficult wading through like you have to be willing to understand the nuances of everybody. Like Sarah says, be able to get into nuances. You got to get in between everything.
Right.
Because let's be real with ourselves. Africa working the way that the United States works would be the smartest move, where it's like borders, but a highway system or a train system that works the best. That's how I look at it. But that requires some real, hey, we don't hate each other because we're.
But Tarek, you are Pan-Africanism or Pan-Africanist if you believe in the prosperity and the betterment of all Black people all over the world. So then,
No, I'm East Africanist.
Oh, okay.
I
So you only-
want
I
East
forgot he
African to
doesn't like-
prosper.
Yeah, he
Everybody else,
doesn't
I could. They're okay, but. I could
Oh,
care
okay.
less about.
That's
So
on
fair
brand.
enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
East African.
okay, fair enough.
Chris, do you subscribe to Pan-Africanism?
I'm gonna put it in layman's terms. I want Africa to keep it Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like leave Europe, Asia, the United States out of it. Let Africa deal with Africa, right?
Self-government.
Yeah,
You
leave.
thought
Well, not
everybody deal with
self-government,
their
but
own
like
problems.
do what however you're gonna deal with it, and keep everybody's hands out of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all? You know what I'm saying? Figure it out for yourselves, but keep everybody else out.
That's a Pan-African
You feel
right
me?
there.
Believe that Elon and everybody else that's been taking the oil and everything out of
Look,
Africa to get the fuck on out of
look,
there.
Elon is African, though.
He's South African.
You know, this conversation is a little bit nuanced because there's different versions of there's different ways that people want to achieve Pan-Africanism. And I don't know, I don't think there's a right or wrong way, because honestly, even with the two prominent leaders, Marcus Garvey and W.E.D. Du Bois, I feel like both of them had great points and they had great strategies.
Sarah brought something up the last episode when they said this is a Pan-African podcast. What does that mean?
We want the betterment
We
of
support the
diaspora.
betterment of all Black
Yeah.
people across the world and the diaspora.
Pro-Black podcast.
Yeah.
And and for South Sudanese,
Specifically, but-
for sure, because that's our country. But
We have a lot of shared experiences with other
Yeah.
people in the diaspora.
Our
Even though we are
destinies.
different, we do share a lot as well.
Yeah, our destinies are intertwined. So if I see Congo being exploited, that also affects South Sudanese. That's something that could that's next door to us. That's our neighbor.
You see injustice here in America, you still feel it. If you see it in the Caribbean, you still you still can relate to it.
Even in America, if the transatlantic slave trade affected so many Africans, our people. Like, how does that affect the continent? How does that affect all of us? How does that affect how race relations all over the world? So it's all connected to one another.
But we always love to learn. So I do want to pose the question to the audience. Do you feel like Pan-Africanism is realistic, or do we need to focus on our own issues before we try to unite and come together? That's the question for the audience. Sarah, do you want to add anything?
Yes. No, I think that was a great way to close it out. I do want to have this conversation again because me and Christine have this beautiful outline
for any Pan-Africanists or those in opposition of Pan-Africanism. We would love to invite you on the podcast, so that we can dive deeper into this conversation and get a little bit more in depth. I think that we just skimmed over it on the surface.
We did, and we have so much to get into. So that's my only thing. That's all I just want to get into.
The girls will get some PCs so they can do something on their Patreon and everything else.
To
be able to include audiences, and y'all can pay an extra maybe $5.99.
Emmanuel's been in his bag lately, so he's trying to put us on. He's been touring, doing shows, And
he's been telling us to create a Patreon, but we want to continue this conversation on Pan-Africanism. So if you want to join, please email us or follow us and message us anywhere, ladiesofsosa@gmail.com. And then follow our Discord.
Yeah, comment, share, subscribe as we continue Sarah's birthday month.
Yes. We're about to have some cake.
So let's end with a happy birthday message.
Okay, cool.
So,
bring the cake. We have like 1 minute.
Seconds.
Box.
Shout out to
Tyrick.
Shout out to Tarek.
Tyrick actually brought the cake. This is the first time he's done something nice.
He baked the cake as a man. Look at this man. He said.
We're about to blow this cake out, have some champagne, and continue my birthday celebrations. And I love you guys.
Love you. See you in the next episode.